once again, everybody. Chris Bezanoy, IceCan.com, Ice TV. Welcome to video 13 of our Facility Security Design 101 series for cannabis production facilities. We're going to talk about the receiving and quarantine area. We've already talked about the shipping area, the importance of the security systems for that area. In fact, we've almost gone through the entire facility so far. We also talked about, in the other series we produced, which is Facility Design 101, the importance of having separate shipping and separate receiving. Go ahead and watch that series. Continuing on, you'll notice the receiving area has an overhead door, much like the water room. This overhead door is located right here. Different than the double door protection. We talked about door contacts and how we protect the double door. An overhead door is protected slightly differently. We use the motor for the overhead door to keep the door shut, but we also have a door contact for this overhead door. It's not your typical recessed door contact we have for swinging doors. It is a surface mount door contact. It works the same though. If the door is breached or the door is opened without authorization, it will set off an alarm. You could protect this door with a padlock if you really wanted to. Keep in mind, key control is going to be important for your facility. It does get difficult to manage all the keys in your facility, but you could definitely use a padlock if you wanted to. I'm a big fan of overhead doors that are motorized. You can protect this space and keep the door closed with the motor. So we've got a door contact here that will set off an alarm should the door be breached. I would also like to put a intercom that's on the outside of this door, facilitates communications with staff inside, much like the shipping and the front reception area. You want to give a courier or a truck driver the ability to actually speak with somebody inside the facility. I would make it a video intercom so that somebody inside the facility can actually see the person's face. Maybe you ask the courier or the truck driver to hold up their license to verify who they are. Either way, video intercom I think is very important. We'll also put a motion detector inside of this room that detects motion in the entire area. I think that's also very important for dual factor authentication for alarms. We will put an access control reader on this door here. The reason why we want to do that is because if there is a truck driver or a courier inside this receiving, you don't want to give them the ability to go through your storage and eventually get into your production facility. We want to keep your production safe, and we want to make sure only authorized people are within your production environment. Much like the shipping, we want to restrict access to any points to your main hallway and of course into your rooms. So in this particular case, we're going to put a card reader right here that restricts access to this door. We're going to make sure it has a door contact that will set off an alarm should it happen to be breached or without somebody, or should somebody not present their credential, their fob, or their card to this door. And we're also potentially going to put a motion detector inside this space. I would definitely put a motion detector here only because I like to track where somebody is in the building for incident investigation and police response. It is ideal should there be a breach to your facility and you happen to catch them, which you will because you're doing layers of protection for your security system, you can tell the police where they are in the facility. That way the police know where to go. Here's an example. Somebody breaches, you get an alarm of your overhead door. So this alarm here, this door contact goes off an alarm. That alarm gets sent to your third-party monitoring. Maybe you're the director of the security for this facility. It gets to your cell phone, maybe your computer. Either way, you know something's going on. And let's say the motion detector goes off also. That way you know it's not a nuisance alarm. It's not this door contact malfunctioning. There's a good chance the door was breached and now the motion detector picked up somebody walking through the facility. You're going to get another alarm right here through the door contact. So now we know somebody came through this overhead door. They've opened up this door, and if you put a motion detector here, you now can sense motion and pretty much ascertain that they've gone through this door. You can tell police we've had a breach of our overhead door in our receiving area, which is located on the northwest side of the building. The police know to go here because they know probably the path of travel is going this direction. The reason why we put devices in certain locations, as I keep mentioning, is that you can track somebody through the building. You get an alarm going through here, alarm going through here. You get an alarm going past this door. You get an alarm going past this door because of the long-range motion detector. You continue along. Maybe they go down this hallway. You've got another alarm going into your trimming room and another alarm with the motion detector. That's that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 alarms indicating where that person is. So when the police respond, they know the last known location based on the item or based on the device that was tripped is in the trimming room. So they know the main entrance is one point of entry and exit for somebody that's breaking in, or it could be one of these doors. Either way, it's great to track where somebody's been. And of course, you back that up with video surveillance. Speaking of which, you're going to want video surveillance in your receiving. There's usually not any racks inside this room. There may be a few racks here and there, but it's generally just meant for the QA so that they can come and clear any supplies to go through the building. So it's basically for receiving and quarantine. Your QA is going to want to make sure they sanitize before any products or supplies go through your building. So camera placement could be one in the corner here, one in the corner here, definitely one that's facing this overhead door, and I like to put one that's overlapping. I always like to do a minimum of 2 per space, sometimes even 3. You could put a 360-degree camera up here. I've already mentioned the differences between CCDs and also using a full 360 camera that has maybe 4 or 5 lenses, 4 separate cameras, whatever the case may be. A 360 you can put in this room. I wouldn't necessarily put cameras in storage. The idea is that somebody going through this door already has the authority to go through this door. And because we're restricting access to this door here, the chances of somebody coming into this area, breaching and going through storage is slim to none. Let's face it, they're not breaking in to pick up toilet paper. They're not breaking in to potentially get pots or maybe even soil. They're really breaking in to be able to get either your proprietary information or potentially some cannabis from your secured storage or your extraction room, packaging room, that sort of thing. So really, we want to protect the facility based on what the important things are to protect. I don't consider toilet paper or soil to be something important to protect, so I wouldn't put cameras there. I wouldn't even restrict access to this door, to or from this door, or put a door contact on the storage area. Pretty straightforward. Be mindful of overhead doors. You could have double doors that swing. You could have big sliding doors. They all are protected differently. Camera angles are important. Make sure you're always covering the main entrance door. Be mindful of any racks inside the room. Be mindful of any lighting inside this room. Be mindful of the height of the ceiling inside this room. And also be mindful of whether or not the jurisdiction that you're in requires a vehicle to go right into the facility. You could have it for shipping, especially for cannabis. I've seen it in different countries. Not typically for receiving, but you could. You could be receiving cannabis products. Keep in mind, in this particular design, we have an extraction room. They could be receiving bulk cannabis from outside licensed producers that are legally allowed to ship, and they could be receiving it here. So at some time, there could be cannabis going right through this area, right into your extraction or into your secured storage. Keeping that in mind, there may be a requirement to have a vehicle go right into your receiving and quarantine. In this particular case, there's not, for a number of reasons. I can tell, not only because we designed this facility, but I can also tell you would never have a vehicle go into a quarantine area. A quarantine area would be separate. If the vehicle had to come into this shipping bay or this receiving bay, this would be the quarantine area and the storage, not the receiving bay, simply because carbon monoxide, right? There's certain requirements if a vehicle comes in from an HVAC point of view. Either way, if a vehicle has to come in, be mindful of where those cameras are. If you have a big truck that comes in here, those cameras are potentially going to be blocked and you won't be able to see any transactions that happen from the back door of the truck to wherever cannabis happens to be. So be mindful of that area. Ask the designer, ask the shipper, ask the owner of the facility, maybe the director, maybe the master grower. Ask them about the receiving and the quarantine area. Ask them about shipping. Ask them the layout for certain rooms. That's going to be key to your video surveillance system. Exterior door leading out, we want to protect it. Video surveillance, access control, and intrusion detection. Thanks for watching. The next video we're going to go through is the destruction area. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty much protected, the same as all other areas. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. This informative video was brought to you by IceCan.com, the industry's first marketplace for new and used equipment. Whether you're looking for brand new equipment for your cannabis venture, maybe you're looking for some used equipment, we can easily source that for you and ship it to you anywhere in the world, right to your front doorstep. Maybe you're looking for some services. We know a lot of great people in this industry. You've been around for the past 10 years. We can easily help you and refer you to anybody that you may need, whether it's advisory services, regulatory compliance, maybe you're looking for some funding for your cannabis venture. Either way you look at it, we can easily help source that consultancy or that service you may need. Once again, thanks for watching. This is ICE TV, brought to you by IceCan.com.